Welcome to the Symphony of Self, a women's program 2023, orchestrating inner and outer harmony. It is my honor to be your host for this transformative event, where we come together to explore the theme of living harmoniously to create a peaceful and fulfilling life. Through several speaker sessions throughout the conference, we will delve into various aspects of harmonious living, uncovering the secrets to cultivating harmony within ourselves, with others, as well as the world around us. By embracing mindfulness, connection, and sustainability, we can create a symphony of self that resonates both internally and externally. I invite you to sit back, relax, and immerse yourselves into the magical melodies that will fill this space. May this musical and dance performance serve as a reminder of the profound power that lies within us, guiding us on our journey towards inner and outer harmony.
इस समारोह की शुरुआत स्तुति गान से करेंगे। आप सबको निवेदन है कि अपनी आंखें बंद करके हमारे साथ शांति पाठ में जुड़ाइए। हम प्रार्थना करेंगे कि हम सबको आंतरिक और बाह्य शांति प्राप्त हो। शांति 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 असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युमामृतं गमय सर्वेत्र सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमापयात्। द्योः शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिः रापः शान्तिः रोषदयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिः विश्वे देवा शान्तिः ब्रह्मः शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिः देवा शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरिता निपरासुव यद्भद्रं तन्नासुव शान्तिः 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 सुशान्तिर्भवतु सर्वारिष्टशान्तिर्भवतु
embarking us on a symphony of harmony, beauty, and emotional evocation. As we continue our journey in the conference, it is now time to delve into the first key aspect of exploration: harmony with self. This session will guide us on how to live harmoniously through mindfulness and restoration. Please join me in welcoming our first keynote speaker, Mahika Mehta, who will illuminate the path of mindfulness and restoration, revealing how practices like meditation and introspection can guide us towards inner enlightenment and well-being. Through sharing personal experiences, she will empower us to prioritize self-care, resilience, and the healing power of spirituality. This session invites us to embark on a harmonious journey of self-discovery, nurturing a deep connection with ourselves and embracing inner wholeness. Please welcome Mahika Mehta.
Namaste. I'm standing in the middle of a subway platform, frozen. Trains come and go. There's noise everywhere. So much noise. It all blends together. I am standing in the middle of a subway platform. There are people rushing by. Yet I cannot seem to move. They have all become a blur. And I am trapped within this blur, and everything keeps getting faster. This is the visual that comes to mind when I think about my deepest moments of inner misalignment. When the anxiety builds, this is what it feels like. I had my first panic attack around 2 years ago. I was away from home and started falling ill. My symptoms were analogous to COVID-19, and so the uncertainty, fear, stress started building up, along with this feeling of being trapped. All I wanted to do was go home. At that time, a friend reminded me of the power of prayer. Shastriji Maharaj, Pramukh Swami Maharaj's guru during illness, would often listen to the Bhakta Chintamani, a scripture narrating the divine incidents of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. During difficult times, it is so easy to fixate on the inconvenience of the self and forget about the all-encompassing nature of the divine. Our gurus have used prayer as a means to heal the soul and strengthen the mind. And so I tried to close my eyes and let the calm, gentle words of the Bhakti Chintamani, spoken by Pramukh Swami Maharaj, caress me to sleep. After coming home, I dismissed this whole incident as physiological, something having to do with the body's natural stress and immune response. We joked around about it too, me completely freaking out, until this heightening, uneasy feeling started coming back at some of the most stressful times in the semester. And I figured that it couldn't be ignored anymore or locked away in some dark corner. We talk about anxiety, depression, mental health, post about it on social media, preach about mental well-being. But I never realized what well-being really is until I'd had these moments of anxiety. Everything is okay to talk about until it becomes a bit too personal. You never imagined yourself having to deal with this stuff, and yet there you were, ashamed you had done something wrong. We are meant to be pillars of morality, strength, integrity, but what happens when the weight on our shoulders becomes too heavy? Our roles and responsibilities seemingly infinite? The answer is deeply personal and integrated within each and every one of our lives. So I'd like to ask all of you to be vulnerable with yourselves today. Take a moment right now to close your eyes and reflect. When am I most out of alignment with my own inner self? Is it circumstantial? Is it self-directed? Is it interpersonal? What does disharmony feel like, look like for me? Once you have come up with something, please write it down in a notebook or on your phone. Thank you for engaging in that with me. Now, would you all agree that oftentimes we like to jump to conclusions? How can we achieve inner harmony? What are the things that we can do? But let's look at it from another angle. Let's ask ourselves, what is currently stopping me from achieving constant inner peace? Once we can visualize the disharmony, really pinpoint the root, then we can formulate a means to address it. Specifically, our constant need to meet expectations, achieve our goals, fulfill, exceed at our duties, often leaves us feeling stressed out and overwhelmed. Maybe you've experienced this when things get really stressful at work or at school, and you seem to lash out on your family or kids at home. Or because of the multitude of roles we play, that mental fatigue settles in, and every task feels like another burden. When the external noise becomes present, it creates situations where decision-making becomes difficult, and a disconnect arises between our intentions, values, and our words and our resulting actions. And when this external noise manifests internally, it creates internal noise when we're not able to fully act according to our authentic self. In Hinduism, knowledge of the authentic self or inner voice is referred to as Atmanishtha, unwavering conviction in the self. In his book, In Love at Ease, Yogi Trivedi, a scholar of religion and bhakti studies at Columbia University, talks about how Pramukh Swami Maharaj was able to bring harmony in the world by drawing strength from the divine within his own inner self. And you'd realize this is a step ahead from caring for ourselves to be able to care for others. It's realizing that when we submit to a cause beyond ourselves, it is a direct path towards the divine. By practicing true humility, by serving the divine in others, one experiences inner contentment. And that's why Pramukh Swami Maharaj's life motto, "In the joy of others lies our own," is so powerful. It's the self that connects us with others and the world, but channeling that self for God in our gurus reveals an infinite source of inner strength and stability. And this quality of Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Mahant Swami Maharaj has really fascinated me because, as mentioned previously, it's something I've struggled with. How have they embodied constant steadiness in the whirlwind of circumstances that have arisen? The Srimad Bhagavad Gita refers to such a being as sthit prajna, stable and equipoised. I think this gives us the true definition of inner harmony when we're able to find alignment in our words, our thoughts, and actions in all situations, good or bad. And the challenging part of this all now is learning how to internalize it. Historically, as women, hardship, disparity, inequality has been integrated, interwoven into our stories. And standing here today, I am truly humbled by your courage, your resilience, yet we cannot overlook the wounds we may carry as a result of these experiences. How do we truly heal from those wounds? We can begin by changing our inner dialogue and creating a dialogue with God, prayer. Let's go back to that initial scenario we came up with at the beginning and change that rhetoric. Take that scenario and repurpose it by infusing positivity. At your most vulnerable, what is one thing that you can do to move towards a better space? Take a moment, reflect upon that right now, and once you've come up with something, write it down. Thank you. For me personally, it's been consistently going back to the power of breath, integrated with smriti, recollection of key memories with my gurus. I have to close my eyes and remind myself to breathe, just breathe and be, being present in that moment, and reminding myself that because I have attained the manifest form of Akshar Purushottam Maharaj, with his strength, I will surely overcome misery. Words hold great power. Think about the words that are a part of your inner dialogue. And let's apply a little bit of what we've talked about so far. Please repeat after me. Today, I will take care of myself, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I will serve others. I am powerful because of the divine that resides within me. I am right where God and the Gurus intend for me to be. I am worthy of all the blessings coming my way. As with all things, it's consistent repetition of these affirmations that will lead to self-belief and provide strength during challenging times. Lastly, I'd like to focus on how we can take active steps towards success by investing in our actions to create inner and outer harmony. Out of the many facets of well-being, we'll focus on 4 today, starting off with physical well-being. As a student of exercise and sports science, this one really hits home. And I know you all know that exercise is imperative for a healthy and long, healthy life. But I also know that with our busy schedules, it can be challenging. Not everyone has the time or resources to go to the gym, and that's okay, because exercise is more than just lifting heavy weights. Whether that's choosing to walk to where you need to go, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, getting off a stop ahead to walk the rest of the way home. The list can go on, and you can really get creative with this. But the important part is finding something that you enjoy. That's when the investment pays off. Along with that, also prioritizing sleep and healthy whole foods. Food is fuel for our bodies. There's so much research going in to show the interconnection between our gut microbiome and our brain, our mood, our emotions, and our overall health. So let's be mindful of the things that we're putting into our bodies. Second, intellectual well-being. This spans from anything in learning effective time management strategies to engaging in activities that are mentally stimulating. Whether that's reading a book, picking up a new hobby, or reading an article about something that piques your curiosity. True growth and progress lie in being learners until the end of our lives. And so let's seek out those opportunities. Third, interpersonal well-being. We all know how crucial it is for us to have a strong support system. And this one has really challenged me because it is hard, it's daunting to share our innermost selves with others, and much easier to be closed off. But let's remember that we are not alone in our battles. There are people who care for our well-being and who want to help. So mentally note those people in your life that you can trust and rely on. Lastly, and most importantly, spiritual well-being. We focused a lot on the self today, but it's the divine within that strengthens and enlightens the soul. So prayer, whatever form it takes, a simple conversation with God, journaling, poetry, artistic pursuits, whatever fits your inclination. The beauty about prayer is that it is limitless, infinite, and eternally binds one with God and the Gurus. And so today, it is my humble prayer to Bhagwan Swaminarayan and His Divine Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj that they provide us with the strength to find our inner alignment and achieve inner harmony. And so for those days when you cease to feel alive, when breathing becomes a burden so heavy on your chest, you drown in the waters of your queries, take a second, detach, breathe, become an observer, embrace the action of simply being still, and watch as you begin to float. Look upon the monotonies of your daily and infuse them with the power of presence. Not perfection nor precision, but a presence of mind and soul until you watch those waters carry you to shore. Thank you, and Jai Swaminarayan.
Please join me in offering an expression of gratitude to Mahika for her inspiring insights on living harmoniously through mindfulness and restoration. When we move individually, we are melody, but when we move together, we harmonize. Please join us as we harmonize with our beautiful dancers, fusing two classical dance forms of India, Bharatnatyam and Kathak.
A big thank you to our dancers for showing us how two dance forms can come together to create a beautiful harmony. Also giving credit to music by Jarishnu by Gandharva Choir, composed by Sri Madhu Mudgal, for the music the dancers danced to. As we move forward with our program, we will now engage in a mindful yoga session facilitated by Devyani Patel and her team. Devyani Patel is a trained yoga teacher and therapist. Previously, as a biochemist in India, she holds great expertise in the field of health and fitness. Devyani enjoys gardening and spending wholesome time with nature. I'd like to invite Devyani Ben and her team to the stage to walk us through an immersive yoga experience.
नमस्ते, जय स्वामीनारायण। माहिका बेन ने जैसे बताया कि आंतरिक सद्भावना को रखने के लिए योग और प्राणायाम हमें हेल्प करता है। तो आज मैं कुछ योग के बारे में बताऊंगी। सुनने के लिए तैयार हो? चलिए, योग भारत की प्राचीन परंपरा है जिसमें शारीरिक, मानसिक, भावनात्मक और आध्यात्मिक रूप शामिल है। भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने गीता में कहा है कि समत्वम योग उच्यते। समत्व का मतलब है संतुलन, सद्भावना। योग का मतलब है युग्म, जोड़ान। आज की इस भागम भाग भरी जिंदगी में हम सब अपने आप से ही अलग होते जा रहे हैं। योग ही ऐसा माध्यम है जो हमें अपने आप से जोड़ने में मदद करता है। योग एक संगीत है जो शरीर की लय, मन की मधुरता, आत्मा की सद्भावना को मिलकर जीवन को एक सुर में पिरोते हैं। योग एक धर्म है। एक धर्म वैसे नहीं है, एक विज्ञान है। सलामती का विज्ञान है, यौवन का विज्ञान है, शरीर, मन, आत्मा को जोड़ने का विज्ञान है। अपने विचारों का संतुलन, अपनी भावनाओं का संतुलन, अपनी वाणी वर्तन का संतुलन ही तो सद्भावना है। और बाह्य सद्भावना आंतरिक सद्भावना का आईना है। प्रत्येक परिस्थिति में सद्भावना स्थापित करने का माध्यम योग है। योग, आसन, प्राणायाम, ध्यान। योग इज द जर्नी ऑफ सेल्फ टू द सेल्फ थ्रू द सेल्फ। आज हम अपने आप को जोड़ने का एक छोटा सा प्रयास करेंगे। क्या आप तैयार हो? चलिए सब अपनी जगह पे कमर गर्दन सीधी करके बैठ जाइए। जो चेयर में बैठे हैं वो भी तैयार होके बैठ जाइए। जो नीचे बैठे हैं वो भी सुखद आसन में बैठ जाइए। आप मेरे साथ, हमारी टीम के साथ कुछ एक्सरसाइज करेंगे। चलिए कमर गर्दन सीधी, श्वास लेते हुए अपना चेहरा ऊपर उठाइए, श्वास छोड़ते हुए नीचे। मेरे काउंट के साथ सब करेंगे। 1 2 3 4। धीरे से सेंटर में आइए। अब धीरे से अपना चेहरा राइट साइड में घुमाइए। 1 लेफ्ट साइड, 2 3 4 5 6। धीरे से सेंटर में आ जाइए अपना चेहरा। अब धीरे से अपने कंधे को घुमाएंगे। श्वास लेते हुए कंधा ऊपर और धीरे से आगे से पीछे लेकर के जाएंगे मेरे काउंट के साथ। चलिए 1 2 3 4 5 6। धीरे से उल्टा घुमाएंगे, रिवर्स करेंगे श्वास के साथ। 1 2 3 4 5 6। अब धीरे से अपने दोनों हाथ को अपने सामने लेके आइए। सामने जगह है ही सबके पास। अब उंगलियां खोल दीजिए और धीरे से मुट्ठी बंद करें मेरे काउंट के साथ। ओपन। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8। अपनी कलाई को बंद रखें और धीरे से सर्कल करेंगे। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7। अभी रिवर्स। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7। अपनी उंगलियों को खोल दीजिए, अपनी कोहनियों को मोड़ के अपने कंधे पे हाथ। अब धीरे से आगे अपनी कोहनियों को जोड़ के पूरा सर्कल बनाएंगे। 360 रोटेशन। 1 2 3 4 5। अभी धीरे से रिवर्स करेंगे। 1 2 3 4 5। अब धीरे से दोनों हाथ नमस्ते में अपनी सामने लेके आइए। चेहरा सामने रखते हुए राइट हैंड राइट साइड, सेंटर, लेफ्ट साइड। काउंट के साथ 1। अपनी कमर को ट्विस्ट करना है। 2 3 4 5 6 7 8। अब धीरे से दोनों हाथ सेंटर में अपनी उंगलियों को पिरोते हुए सामने लेके आइए। श्वास भरते हुए हाथ ऊपर और धीरे से चेहरा ऊपर आसमान की ओर। होल्ड करें पोजीशन को अर्ध ताड़ासन में। 1 2 3 4 5। धीरे से चेहरा सामने। अब धीरे से अपनी लेफ्ट साइड पे ट्विस्ट करेंगे अपनी कमर को। 1 राइट साइड, 2 3 4 5 6, 7, 8। अब धीरे से दोनों हाथ सेंटर में, दोनों हाथ नीचे लाते हुए अपना राइट हैंड लेफ्ट नी पे रखे और लेफ्ट हैंड पीछे रखते हुए कमर मरोड़ करेंगे। 1, चेंज करेंगे पोजीशन। 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8। अब धीरे से सेंटर में आ जाएंगे। अपने आप को हग कर लीजिए अच्छे से। अब हम लंबी गहरी श्वास लेंगे, अपनी स्पाइन को एक्टिव करेंगे। चलिए, श्वास लेते हुए हाथ पीछे, श्वास छोड़ते हुए अपनी स्पाइन को कर्व करते हुए हग करेंगे काउंट के साथ। 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8। अब धीरे से रिलैक्स करें, अपने आप को मुट्ठी बना लीजिए। भस्त्रिका प्राणायाम की थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। इसमें श्वास लेते हुए हाथ ऊपर, उंगलियां खुल जाएगी। श्वास छोड़ते हुए फोर्सफुली हाथ नीचे। चलिए, मेरे काउंट के साथ। 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10। धीरे से आंखें बंद करें। अपने राइट हैंड में लेफ्ट हैंड रखें। अपनी नाभि के पास दोनों हाथ रखते हुए आंखें बंद करेंगे धीरे से। अपनी श्वासों को धीरे धीरे संतुलित करें। आंखें बंद, श्वासों को संतुलित करें। दीर्घ श्वास, प्रश्वास। अब हम धीरे से सरल भ्रामरी का अभ्यास करेंगे। सरल भ्रामरी में बिना मुंह खोले हमें ओमकार चैंटिंग करना है, हमिंग साउंड करना है, भ्रमरे की गुंजन की तरह आवाज निकालना है। चलिए, लंबी गहरी श्वास। फिर से लंबी गहरी श्वास। One more time, दीर्घ श्वास। आंखें बंद ही रखें। अपने मन मस्तिष्क में जो भ्रामरी प्राणायाम से कंपन पैदा हुए हैं, ये कंपन को पूरे शरीर में फैलने दीजिए। अपने आप को शांत अनुभव करें। कंपन को फैलने दीजिए। ये सकारात्मक ऊर्जा, ब्रह्मांडीय ऊर्जा है, अपने आप में फैलने दीजिए। श्वास प्रश्वास, श्वास प्रश्वास। श्वास लेते हैं तो सकारात्मक ऊर्जा हमारे शरीर में फैल जाती है। प्रश्वास करते हैं तो नकारात्मक ऊर्जा हमारे शरीर से बाहर निकलती है। हम शिथिल होते हैं, रिलैक्स होते हैं। अनुभव करें। जब हम श्वास लेते हैं तो परमात्मा हमारे पास आते हैं। जब हम श्वास को रोकते हैं, कुंभक करते हैं, परमात्मा हम में बस जाते हैं। जब हम प्रश्वास करते हैं तो हम परमात्मा के समीप जा रहे हैं। हम जब बाह्य कुंभक करते हैं तो हम परमात्मा में समर्पित हो जाते हैं। अनुभव करें समर्पण को। आंतरिक समर्पण का अनुभव करें। आंतरिक शांति का अनुभव करें। शांत शांत शांत। ईश्वरीय चेतना हमारे इष्ट देव का आभार व्यक्त करें। माँ प्रकृति, माँ वसुंधरा का आभार व्यक्त करें। विश्व शांति की कामना करते हुए शांति पाठ करेंगे। धीरे से दोनों हाथ नमस्ते में मुद्रा में लाके अपने हृदयाकाश के लाइए। लंबी गहरी श्वास। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। धीरे से अपनी दोनों हथेलियों को रब करें, अपनी आंखों पे रखें, आंखों को ब्लिंक करें 2 से 3 बार, खोल बंद करें। अब धीरे से दोनों हथेली से अपने पूरे शरीर को स्पर्श करा दीजिए। अपनी कोमल हथेलियों का अपने शरीर के प्रति आभार की लगनी दर्शाते हुए धीरे से आंखें खोलेंगे। आपका दिन मंगलमय हो। प्रणाम। जय स्वामीनारायण।
Please join me in expressing our gratitude to Devyani for her energizing and evoking yoga exercise. She focused on mindfulness and restoration in allowing us to become more in tune with our inner harmonies and energies. We now move forward in the program by welcoming special guests and friends of BAPS present in the audience today. Joining us is the Honorable Anita Anand, a dear friend and well-wisher of BAPS. Minister Anand is a Canadian politician who currently serves as the Minister of National Defense and represents the riding of Oakville in the House of Commons since 2019. Born and raised in Nova Scotia, Minister Anand pursued the role of a professor at the University of Toronto and thereafter at Yale, Queen's, and Western University, respectively. Her impactful leadership in the area of community service through her contributions to various organizations such as the Oakville Hospital Foundation, the Lighthouse Program for Grieving Children. As a scholar, researcher, and lawyer, Minister Anand's works have earned her numerous awards and accolades. Minister Anand has joined us on numerous occasions at the BAPS Sri Swaminarayan Mandir and most recently at the centennial celebrations of His Holiness Pramukh Sami Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming her as well as Hetal Tucker on stage as she honors our themed program, Inner and Outer Harmony. Please welcome Minister Anand to the stage.
Hanji. Namaste. I would love to begin by acknowledging that we're on the traditional territory of the Wendat, the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee, the Métis, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and today and every day we commit to meaningful reconciliation. Let me start by saying His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, Panditji, honored guests, BAPS community, and friends, Jai Swami Narayan. It is such a privilege for me to be here to celebrate 50 years of BAPS community service in Canada with all of you here today. And I think back to when I was a little girl. I was born in rural Nova Scotia. My parents, both of Indian origin. My mother born in a little town called Jandiala Guru in Punjab, and my dad was born and raised in the region as well, but raised in Varanasi, but his whole family came from the south. And I just wanted to say that we never had a temple growing up in rural Nova Scotia. When I was a little girl, or even when I was in my teens and in my 20s, I didn't have a temple to go to. So seeing you all here today to gather as women for this conference at BAPS is absolutely inspiring to me to see you all here. I'm so thrilled to be with you today, and I thank BAPS for inviting me to be here with you. Now, when we were growing up, my parents, both devout Hindus, prayed with us every day. The Ombo Bhasvata Savitvarenyam Bhagode Vasyadi Mahi Dioyo Na Prachodya Gayatri Mantra every day, multiple times a day. And I've passed this down to my children as well. But all of that to say that when I was a little girl running around outside with my friends, I didn't realize how important my faith was. And it was only as I grew up that I became ever so grateful for all the lessons that my parents taught me. And those are the lessons that BAPS represents today. Kindness, compassion, the importance of diversity, and hard work as well. And it reminds me of the importance of community, of sticking together, of being together, of supporting each other as women and as a broader community. So let me just tell you a little bit about what I think it means to be a woman of Hindu origin in today's world. I'll just start by saying that I know that sometimes it's not easy as leaders to keep leading, to keep working, to keep supporting the causes that we believe in. But again, the importance is of community. And if I think back to my early life, I will say that there were many instances where people didn't see a racialized woman as having a place around the leadership table. I can think of times, for example, my first day as a professor, I was walking with my husband in the law school, and one of the other faculty members said to my husband, "Welcome to the law school, is this your wife?" In other words, they assumed that it was not me who had that job, but it was my spouse. And a similar thing happened to me when I became a member of Parliament. They looked, I was there to get my certificate, my badge, my pass, they looked at my husband to say, "What riding do you represent?" And he had to turn to me and say, "It's actually my wife who represents us in this riding." So I just wanted to say that along the way, there may be those moments where you say, why are people saying the things they do? Why are there the assumptions? But at the same time, it's you. You're breaking down the barriers. You are leading. You are representing. And I want to do everything I can to support you as strong women leaders in the BAPS and the broader Canadian community. I am here for you. And let me just say that your volunteerism, your initiatives, from walkathons to building places of worship to raising funds for local hospitals and organizing community fairs and more, are absolutely critical to this community. And they represent Canadian values. They represent being here for our neighbors when they need us most. And at 50 years of this Monday, we have to continue to show, to exemplify, to manifest these values: kindness, compassion, inclusivity. And as a member of Parliament and your Minister of National Defense, I am dedicated every single day to creating a culture where everyone feels welcome. A culture where everyone who serves our country and our community are protected and respected and empowered to serve. A culture where inclusivity is tied to ingenuity, and a culture where everyone, especially women and young girls, know that their potential knows no bounds. And I want to say that it is crucial for you to hold that in your heart, that your potential knows no bounds. Everybody repeat after me: my potential knows no bounds. Because that's what you have to remember. My potential knows no bounds. And I am amazed by you. I'm amazed by the daughters of our country who continue to chase your goals, despite growing up in a society that may not always be as accepting as we need it to become. And this conference here today shows the importance of continuing the work to empower women of today and tomorrow. And I salute the BAPS community for remembering and celebrating the role of women leaders in our country. I'd like to end here today by thanking you. Your belief in the power of volunteerism, your belief in the power of service shows me that there is no greater contribution than to serve. And as Rabindranath Tagore once said, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and I saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. Thank you for always remembering that service is joy. And thank you to BAPS Canada for inviting me here today. Congratulations on your women's conference, and for 50 years of exemplary community service. Canadians are so grateful to have you here. Merci beaucoup. Jai Swami Narayan. And just before I close, I'd like to ask Arti if she could come to the stage so that I can provide her with a certificate of 50th anniversary of BAPS in Canada, in recognition of the steadfast commitment and invaluable contributions made towards promoting and preserving spiritual, cultural, and spiritual values. I celebrate your 50th anniversary with you here at BAPS.
please accept our gratitude, Minister Anand, for all the ways in which you inspire our fellow Indo-Canadians to live selfless and faith-based lives every day. We would now like to request Aarti Patel to honor Minister Anand with the sanctified friendship bracelet by Mahant Swami Maharaj himself.
Have a great conference, and thank you so much again. Bye.
Our next keynote speaker, Rekha Gardia, will highlight the importance of meaningful relationships and supportive communities, offering valuable insights and techniques that nurture women's spiritual growth and well-being, including the power of active listening, acts of kindness, forgiveness, spirituality, and the profound impact of family bonding. Rekha Gardia works as the Chief Program Officer at Fear Not Love, a prominent home shelter supporting women in the community. Her service in various areas of social work have led her to earning several awards and accolades, including a position at the prestigious Premier's Multicultural Council. As the leading coordinator at the BAPS community in Calgary, Alberta, Rekha inspires countless women by empowering them and supporting them with the resources, platform, and guidance they need to grow. She enjoys gardening as a hobby and is the mother of 2 children. Rekha engages herself in any opportunity that allows her to innovatively support families in the community. Her wealth of knowledge and experience has brought many points of reflection forward. Let us now welcome Rekha and navigate through the steps of harmony with others together.
Namaste, Jai Swaminarayan. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman philosopher, said, "He who lives in harmony with self lives in harmony with others." And we heard from my fellow speaker Mahika and Devyani all about harmony with self. However, I wonder, is harmony with self enough? क्या हमारा खुद के साथ सद्भाव काफ़ी है हमारे जीवन में? मैं तो नहीं मानती। Just as we strive for harmony with ourselves, it is equally important to have harmony with others around us. Having harmony with others around us is a necessary condition for progress, development, fulfillment, overall happiness, and also survival for each of us as an individual or whichever group we belong to. Having harmony with others unites us in spite of our diversity. दूसरों के साथ हमारा सद्भाव हमारे सामूहिक विकास के लिए एक प्रकार की कड़ी है जो हमें समाज, हमारे परिवार रूपी तंतु या फैब्रिक से जोड़ता है. Just like the musical score sheet, which is customized for each instrument. The outlay of musical notes, they differ. Yet, each sheet has its own musical piece, and it unifies across the board. In our lives, we all have our own notes, our own musical pieces. We are all having our own unique aspects, yet all we can live in harmony with family and community. यही तो है अनेकता में एकता. When the musical notes, they are in harmony, we all enjoy as a song, music. However, when they are not, it is like a noise. वो कहते हैं ना, मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा तो सुर बने हमारा. और जब वो सुर नहीं मिलते हैं तो वो बेसुरा बन जाता है. जब ताल से ताल नहीं मिलते हैं तो जीवन का तालमेल ही बिगड़ जाता है. जिंदगी बेसुरी हो जाती है और सब कुछ जैसे नीरस सा लगने लगता है. Based on my professional experience working in the vulnerable sector, in the domestic violence, with the families dealing with domestic violence issues, I can attest that lack of harmony leads to many issues such as family conflict, domestic violence, mental health issues, and so much more. मेरे इस almost 20 साल के अनुभव को अगर मैं एक वाक्य में कहना चाहूँ तो वो कुछ इस प्रकार होगा कि सद्भाव का अभाव सिर्फ दुष्प्रभाव के रूप में ही दिखाई देता है. कभी युद्ध के रूप में तो कभी मेंटल हेल्थ, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस, सारे इश्यूज. अब लेट्स टेक अ मिनट टू गेस विद माई सेल्फ. कुछ आंसर्स मैं आपको क्वेश्चंस पूछूंगी, आप हाथ उठा के अपने आंसर्स बताएं. मैं आपको और गेस करें, मैं आपको ऑप्शंस दूंगी, हम आंसर्स बाद में बोलेंगे. हाउ मैनी पीपल have been killed in the wars in the human history? Options: 1 million. Raise of hands. कितने सोचते हैं 1 million? 25 million? 50 million? 1 billion? How many girls or women experience domestic violence globally? 1 in 1,300? Raise your hands if you think so. 1 in 300? 1 in 30? Or 1 in 3? कनाडा में प्रतिदिन every day कितने suicides होते होंगे on an average? 1, 5, 7, 15, 11. Globally, 5 women killed due to domestic violence. Frequency: every 1 day, every hour, every month, every year. Well, thank you all for being so brave to guess the answers for these difficult questions. According to United Nations Women, 1 in 3 women experience domestic violence, and more than 5 girls are killed every hour due to family violence. And guess what? These numbers are only what are reported. And what is not reported, almost 70% is not even reported. And the estimated of people killed in wars up until now, close to 1 billion. According to Canadian Mental Health Association, it is on an average 11 people commit suicide only in Canada. Aren't these numbers shocking to you all? Telling anything to us? I was certainly shocked when I started working in this field. परिवारों को टूटते हुए, बिखरते हुए देखा जब, उनका मानसिक तनाव और इन तनावों की वजह से गलत दिशा में उठते उनके कदम, ये सब कुछ देख के दिल दहल सा गया था मेरा. Despite going through severe violence, many women we served chose to go back to the abusive relationship. Why? Because they did not want their children to be raised in broken family settings. In talking to men, we realized that they have their own unique issues. They have their own stressors. When we talk to children, it seems like they also wanted to talk. They wanted to connect to their parents. But the distance between the parents themselves, distance between the children and the parents, stopped them from talking. One thing was very clear. Everyone really wanted love, connected. They wanted peace and harmony in the house, in the family, but just didn't know how. This was making me so uneasy, so uneasy. I started brainstorming with our counseling team lead about what can we do and what can we do to respond, not react, so that we can stop putting Band-Aids. One thing we shared common vision or common thing between the counseling team lead and myself was the spiritual lens. So when we looked at the grassroots issues of or cause of all these issues, we realized that it is really the lack of harmony that is the grassroots. Lack of harmony with the family, lack of harmony with each other. While there may be many other reasons for the numbers we saw earlier, but in my personal experience working with this family, lack of harmony is certainly a key contributing factor. This is the time when it hit me that my Guru Pramukh Swamiji, he receives thousands of letters from people asking advice about so many of these issues day to day. No wonder he launched a very innovative initiative called Ghar Sabha, centered around the family harmony. Conflicting schedules, varied interests, they make it increasingly difficult for many families to have quality time together. Through Ghar Sabha, he offered a solution by enabling the families, the members, to gather and talk about the value-based concept, satsang-based concepts, share updates of each other's lives. This daily dose of communication, better understanding of each other, emotional, physical, and spiritual needs was working not only in his vision, but in the clients, in the experience of the clients that we were serving. Pramukh Swami launched this initiative as a remedy to familial unrest in our community. And this is probably why he always said, "Sab dardon ki ek dawa, Ghar Sabha." This also resonated with me and my team lead. So much, so much. Along with the client, of course, when it was safe and possible, we started to work with the men, the children, and every other family member in the process to support them, educate them, empower them, and serve the family as a unit to really bring the harmony back. The data, experience, and wisdom, everything is telling us loud and clear that if we have harmony, that can actually be a preventative measure for not only just our family unity, harmony, but also for all these major issues, the social issues that we're seeing in the community, be it domestic violence, mental health. हमें तो विश्वास हो गया है कि परस्पर सद्भाव से हम जो ये दुष्प्रभाव है उसको भी सुप्रभाव में परिवर्तित कर सकते हैं, परंतु अब सवाल ये है कि कैसे? Harmony with others requires us to look within while looking at while upholding it with everyone else around us. We need to pause and reflect on why harmony is important to us. What is our purpose of life? It might just boil down to these three simple things: connect and understand others, their importance, the acceptance of each other, and showing genuine care. Cultivate the right mindset and uphold the values that promote unity, reciprocity, and forgiveness. We can all benefit from taking these small steps to achieve great results, and each of us sitting here can just do this in their own families, just like Karsaba.
In 1977, Swami Shri visited the city of Uti in the state of Tamil Nadu in southern India. He especially went there to visit a school named Blue Mountain School. Why would Pramukh Swami Maharaj travel 1,000 miles from Gujarat to visit a school? It so happened that Chandrakant Bhai, a devotee who formerly lived in Africa, had written a letter to Swami Shri to bless his son, Rajesh, who was studying at that school. Swami Shri traveled 1,000 miles and visited Uti just for this reason. At first, it took some time to locate the school. When they reached the school, the administrator said that Swami Shri would not be able to meet the boy because they were unfamiliar with who Swami Shri was. It took nearly an hour to resolve this matter. Until then, Swami Shri sat outside in the heat. Finally, when Rajesh came, Swami Shri lovingly blessed him by putting his hand on his head. Swami Shri told him to study hard and not to forget his values. He also gave the boy some sanctified food that had been offered to Bhagwan. Rajesh became emotional upon seeing Swami Shri's love and affection towards him. Swami Shri had traveled 1,000 miles merely at the request of a concerned parent. When Chandrakant Bhai got this news, he was elated and felt tremendous gratitude. How could he ever forget Pramukh Swami Maharaj's compassion for him and his family?
So in this video, Swamiji shows to us that to live in harmony with others around us, all we need is to do is connect, be present, and genuinely care with commitment and listening with your heart, not just the ears. So simple, right? Yet, my friend, so difficult. But not impossible. वो कहते हैं जहाँ चाह है वहाँ राह है. Where there is a will, there is a way. Making conscious decisions to build genuine connections and with family can actually be achieved. And how? Just by making small shifts. in our thoughts, in our routine, and the commitment. So why don't we all commit to ourselves? I commit to myself, and maybe this is what you all can do, that I will set aside specific times of the day with my family, be it dinner, after the dinner. And once that time is being set, make it a non-negotiable so that it is like an important commitment, an appointment. Then intentionally use that time to have meaningful discussions with your family. Incorporate the value-based topics like respect, unity, care, compassion. I will help the family members doing the dishes, cooking, be it child's homework. सास अपनी बहू के लिए चाय बना दे, बहू अपनी सास के लिए चाय बना दे, सब एक साथ करें. I will listen attentively to my child with open heart and open mind, be it my spouse or any family member. When someone is talking, I put my phone away so that we talk heart to heart. फिर देखें दिल की बात दिल को कैसे छू जाती है. I will remember their special events, birthdays, anything important happening in their life. I will unconditionally love everyone in the family the same way. फिर चाहे वो मेरा बेटा हो या बेटी, फिर चाहे वो मेरी बहू हो या बेटी, फिर चाहे वो मेरी माँ हो या सास, फिर चाहे वो मेरे पापा हो या ससुर. With all the hate going around us in the world today, it is so easy to get swept away in the negativity all around us. Mahant Swamiji Maharaj, he said in the Satsang Diksha, the Granth, that one should never act or think in a way that is hurtful or damaging or increases conflict. I will communicate and talk to my child or any other family member. अपने विचारों को मैं उनके ऊपर थोपूंगी नहीं, लादूंगी नहीं, बल्कि उनके विचारों को, उनकी भावनाओं को मैं समझूंगी और उनकी कद्र करूंगी. I will forgive when someone makes a mistake. शास्त्रों में भी कहा ही है क्षमा परमो धर्मः, तो हम वो याद रखें. I will make space for unity in my family. All the gurus have been saying, कोई संप राखे के ना राखे, मारे संप राखो छे. Be that influencer. You and I both know that this does not happen overnight. Yes, but small adjustments in our thinking, behavior, and routine are the small steps that will truly lead us to having harmony, at least within our family and around us. Our gurus have taught me that putting harmony into action is truly an intentional effort. It won't happen by itself. Just like Pramukh Swamiji, he launched this initiative, Ghar Sabha. It was an intentional effort to end the unrest in the family harmony that has caused. To conclude, let's end with the quote from Pramukh Swamiji, which is, "In the joy of others lies our own. In the good of others abides our own. In the progress of other rests our own." Namaste. Jai Swaminarayan.
Also joining us today is a longtime friend and supporter of the BAPS women's activities, Shrimati Apurva Srivastav. Shrimati Srivastav ji currently serves as the Consulate General of India in Toronto, Canada. In the year 2001, she joined the Indian Foreign Service, followed by extensive work in the Indian Embassy in Paris and Kathmandu over the span of her 21 years as a diplomat. She holds a master's degree in psychology from Lucknow University in India. Shrimati Apurva Srivastav has rendered her service under headquarters at the External Affairs Minister Office, as well as other secretarial and administrative positions. We have been honored by the presence of Shrimati Apurva Srivastav on auspicious occasions such as Diwali at the BAPS Sri Swaminarayan Mandir over the years. Let us now give a warm welcome to Shrimati Apurva Srivastav to the stage as we proceed to the next part of today's program.
Namaskar, Jai Swaminarayan. It's my blessings and an honor and a privilege to be here today with all of you for the 50 years of celebrations of BAPS charitable work here in Canada. And we are so blessed that Swami Mahan Swami Maharaj is amongst us today here in Canada, blessing this beautiful temple and the land of Canada. So we are really blessed, and I'm really thankful for him to choose to come to Canada to bless all of us. Today I want to recognize first of all, I want to recognize the volunteers, the BAPS volunteers, your sense of service, the way the selfless service, the seva bhav, as it's the seva bhav that we call in our Indian culture. So I like to give a round of applause to all the beautiful volunteers here today. If they are here today giving their time and their efforts, they are missing something somewhere, because you have 24 hours only. But if you decide to give your time to something without any return, that's the biggest gift that you are giving. So a big round of applause again for the volunteers, to all of you. And I'm also very delighted today that I've been invited for a women's conference. I never miss anything which is about women, for women, by women. And the BAPS, I came here last year also. पिछले साल भी मैं आई थी, तो मुझे बताया गया था कि जो पूरा कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया गया है, वो बाय विमेन भी है और आप लोगों ने सब ने मिलके किया है. तो women, we have to be for each other. We just heard Minister Anita Anand and her great views on how we should have the back of each other. We all have to create a world where there is no glass ceiling and no glass slippers to fit in. So I think BAPS create this kind of atmosphere not only for rest of the world but also for the women. So it's a great honor that I have been invited here for this women conference. Really want to commend the wonderful work that BAPS has been doing for last 50 years and even more. Whenever there is a crisis, wherever there is a need of help, I think Swaminarayan, the BAPS, is one of the first organization to take the lead. Chahe wo pandemic ho, setting up of a clinic, vaccine clinic here, or giving food to people in need, helping the students. Whenever there is a student who needs some help, I always contact BAPS, and I thank for all the efforts that they do. अभी कुछ महीनों पहले जब यूक्रेन में हमें अपने बच्चों को निकालना था, हमारे काफ़ी 22,000 बच्चे यूक्रेन में फंसे हुए थे जब वॉर शुरू हो गया था. तो उस वक्त फिर हमने BAPS की तरफ देखा और उन्होंने काफ़ी मदद करी उन बच्चों को बाहर निकालने में, उनको खाना देने में, उनको मदद करने में, उनको सुरक्षित बाहर निकालने में. So every time I come here, I get inspired by the work you all have been doing. And it just makes me a better person just to see how all of you work towards the betterment of the community. So thank you once again for inviting me here, and keep on inspiring. Jai Swaminarayan.
Thank you, Srimati Apurva Srivastava ji, for those heartfelt words. We are always delighted and honored by your support and presence at BAPS. Let us now join our third speaker, Deepa Gohil, in exploring the crucial importance of sustainability for the future, addressing topics such as reducing our carbon footprint, practical tips to minimize single-use plastics, and the significance of water conservation, and gain accurate insights into the current state of our world. Please join me in welcoming Deepa Gohil. She is an elementary instructional facilitator at the Durham District School Board. As a certified yoga teacher, she is passionate about active living, exploring nature and its beauties. As an avid reader on various as an avid writer on various platforms such as Medium Digest, Deepa writes on topics such as mindfulness, positivity, and better living, and empowering people of all ages, especially children, for whom she has written several publications as part of the BAPS community of writers. As a volunteer, Deepa is currently part of the public outreach team at BAPS. A mentor to numerous youth volunteers in the women's wing, Deepa's leadership and guidance have enabled her to impactfully mentor many youth towards becoming leaders of the future. Please join me in welcoming Deepa as we delve deeper into discussing harmony with the world. Deepa, go ahead.
Namaste and Jai Swaminarayan. When we live harmoniously with ourselves, we experience inner peace. That inner peace then permeates into our families, friends, coworkers, and the community. When we are living harmoniously within the community, then that allows for harmony to be shared with the world and with nature. How many of us here are familiar with the active forest fires that are happening right now in Ontario? Yeah. One day, a few weeks ago, I left my condo to head to work, and when I got out of the car, I inhaled a very familiar aroma. It reminded me of the days when my parents took my brother and I traveling across Canada and the beautiful provinces in a pop-up trailer. The scent reminded me of a campfire. A little confused, I walked into the school building and I saw white ash on the car and in my hair. After work, I went home to my condo, and when looking outside from the 25th floor, all I saw was wildfire smoke, and my normally incredible view of the Toronto skyline was suddenly nowhere to be seen. These fires did not happen overnight. It's a product of choices, human choices. When I saw all of the effects of this fire right in my own backyard and with the air that I breathe, I wondered to myself, was this a natural disaster or a product of something that I have had a part in? Currently, the state of our Earth is calling for us. Climate change has caused stress on our beautiful planet, and immediate action is required. I was looking at a few of the global climate reports by the United Nations, and one of them states that humans are responsible for all global heating over the past 200 years. Energy, industry, transport, buildings, agriculture, and land use are some of the main sectors causing greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gas emissions, they act like a blanket that wraps around the Earth, and it traps in the sun's heat and the rising temperatures, which then we call global warming. Some of the consequences of climate change are intense droughts and water scarcity, which lead to severe fires, rising sea levels causing flooding, melting polar ice, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity. Living in harmony with the world around us means understanding and respecting the environment while taking steps to ensure its preservation. So, how can we transform climate issues into action? What will we leave behind? What will our part be in helping to sustain this planet for our future generation? The world-renowned Hindu spiritual leader, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, often said that if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us. Living in tune with nature will make our lives more meaningful and happy, and it will benefit future generations. As an educator myself, my heart, my time, my energy go into finding ways to preserve and sustain the future. How can I provide the best learning experiences for students to grow as responsible citizens and thriving members of society? Teaching students to be eco-heroes or earth rangers and live more green lives is essentially teaching them to live harmoniously with the world and in turn with themselves. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and enjoy. At some of the schools that I support, I have seen initiatives such as Take Back the Tap, which promotes the consumption of drinking water from the tap in reusable waters and avoiding or reducing the use of plastic as much as possible. I've also seen a Let's Get Outside challenge, where students will go outside as much as they can to play and to learn. In one of my mathematics classes, the students performed a challenge to walk or ride to school instead of being driven to school. We tracked the data each day, and then we analyzed our carbon footprint. Keeping it simple and attainable for students is essential. However, I feel that this advice can apply to all of us. So, what can we reduce? What about the number of things that we use and throw away? Or reuse things whenever we can, for example, plastic bags or containers. We can recycle cans, bottles, paper, books, and even toys. And of course, we can take some time out to enjoy this beautiful planet Earth. Take a walk in the woods, plant a tree or a garden, and eat some of the delicious food that it produces. Inspired by Pramukh Swami Maharaj, BAPS Charities in Canada celebrates 50 years of service to the community this year. Pramukh Swami Maharaj believed that nothing should be used wastefully, from water and electricity right down to a safety pin or a toothpick. Swamiji would often use a tissue to wipe the corner of his eyes, but he would be careful only to use one piece of the 2-ply tissue. He would save it so that he could use it again later. When leaving a room, he would turn off the light, even if he was just going to re-enter that space moments later. Now, if you know teachers, you know that we love our fancy pens. I purchase pen after pen after pen. However, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, if a new pen was offered to Swamiji for writing letters to his devotees, he would ensure that the ink of the one that he was currently using was finished before starting to write with a new pen. Through his example, I've learned the quality of preservation through the conservation of energy, water, and avoiding wasteful habits. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was also a strong advocate for the welfare of animals and the importance of caring for them. He set up the establishment of cattle camps to provide a safe and secure environment for cows and other animals that were abandoned, injured, or simply in need of care. These camps, they were run by swamis and volunteers who provided food, shelter, and medical attention to the animals. Sustaining biodiversity, including plants and animals, is essential to living harmoniously with the world. In fact, I was very shocked when I learned that the United Nations research explained that we would be able to cut global greenhouse gas emissions by 40 to 70% by the year 2050 with cleaner forms of transport and eating more plant-based foods. Now, I see your faces. Please smile, don't worry. It's not too late to turn things around. We can still live harmoniously with the world by respecting and protecting the planet that sustains us. Making small changes, one action at a time, can have a lasting and positive effect on the earth. So it's our turn. Let's find out how we can give. Using the QR code on the screen, please take a few moments to locate the lifestyle calculator that has been created by the United Nations. If you wish to participate manually or through reflection, the questions will be displayed on the screen in just a moment, which then can be used for points of reflection. So let's take a moment now to complete the lifestyle calculator to explore and reflect on our carbon footprint. Thank you. Now that we have an idea of our carbon footprint and what that might be, we can start to think about one thing that we might shift. So, based on my results that you see there on the screen, my area of growth is under the category of transport because that is where I have the largest footprint. So, considering some of our own results, what shift could we possibly make in our lives? Could we consider reusing plastic bags or using the back of a used piece of paper? How might we save something from going into the landfill? Can we green our commute? Consider reusable travel mugs? Maybe turn off the water when we're brushing our teeth? Or turn off the light when we leave a room? Let's commit to living harmoniously with the world by making one shift in our lives. Please take a moment now to share this one shift with the person sitting next to you. Thank you. A senior Swami of BAPS, Brahmvihari Swamiji, shares his perspective on the importance of honoring and worshiping nature. It is a very powerful clip. Let's hear from Brahmvihari Swamiji.
Hindus and harmony are synonymous. They go hand in hand. Our core values and core beliefs emphasize the need of harmony. Harmony with God, with oneself, with others, harmony with nature, and the whole of creation. No wonder our ancient Vedic saints and sages, who had discovered the secrets of life and also mastered the mysteries of existence, have said in the Shanti part that peace is not selfish. Only when there is peace in the skies and in the heavens above, in the waters on this earth, in the trees, herbs, and the forests, in the air and everywhere, when there is peace, peace, and peace alone in all of us and in all beings, only then we will feel at peace. Peace cannot be selfish. It is only when there is peace in everything and everyone are we at peace. We need to remind ourselves that we keep shouting, protect nature, protect environment. But from whom? From ourselves. How ironic. At no point in history have human beings been more aware of the importance of environment and ecological harmony than today. And yet, we choose to do nothing, rather continue to destroy it. So let us value nature by worshipping it. Who doesn't love the warmth of the sun, the freshness of the cool breeze? Who doesn't love the taste of clean water or the beauty of greenery? We all do. But now a time has come to express our love through the values of worshipping nature. And it is not wrong to worship nature. In this modern age of materialism, do we not worship our possessions, whether it's a mobile or a motorbike or a car? Every little gadget that we possess, we daily or ritually, virtually take care, clean, upgrade. That is worship. If we can so readily worship material objects, why should we not worship nature that protects us, that has created us? In the Hindu Dharma, we always refer to nature as Mother Nature and Earth as Mother Earth, because we were born out of nature and have been nursed in the lap of nature.
There is no planet B. The time is now, and this change starts with each and every one of us. Living in harmony with nature is crucial for our survival and the survival of our planet. It requires a change in mindset and behavior, but the benefits are undeniable. Many leaders have said, the future is bright. Let's keep it that way. Let us leave here today with a promise to our planet to make at least one change in our lives to bring us closer to living harmoniously with nature. As BAPS Canada celebrates 50 years of dedication and commitment to harmony with the self, with others, and with the planet, let us celebrate today. As you depart today, you will receive some seeds. Consider planting these seeds to start or to continue a garden. When you plant these seeds, you will be taking care of yourself by connecting with nature. You can plant these seeds with someone else, or perhaps give the fruits of that plant to someone to build care and connection. Additionally, by planting these seeds, we are giving back to the planet. Let's plant a seed for the future. In the wise words of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, if we value nature, nature will value us. If we respect nature, nature will respect us. And if we protect nature, nature will protect us. Thank you. Namaste. Jai Swaminarayan.
Thank you, Deepa, for providing us with such an introspective speech on our connection with the world. Your speech helped us explore the crucial importance of sustainability for the future, addressing topics such as reducing our carbon footprint, practical tips to minimize single-use plastics, the significance of water conservation, and gaining accurate insights into the current state of our world. Before we proceed to our conclusion, a just kind request to look around you to see for any lost items. And if you do spot any lost items, specifically a lost AirPod case, please do report it to the AV box. When we care for ourselves, we learn to care for others. When we learn to care for others, we care for the global world. As our journey through the symphony of self, orchestrating inner and outer harmony, Women's Conference comes to a close. Let us take a moment to reflect on the transformative experience we've learned today. We've explored the importance of living harmoniously with ourselves, cultivating meaningful connections with others, and embracing sustainability for our world. Through the wisdom and insights of our remarkable speakers, the enchanting melodies of music, the graceful movements of dance, and the camaraderie we have fostered, we've been inspired to embrace harmony in every aspect of our lives. We've discovered that when we care for ourselves, nurture our connections, and protect our environment, we create a symphony of balance, peace, and fulfillment. Thank you today for attending this year's Women's Conference.